when we come for you? Correle, correle, ándale. What you gonna do when we come for you?
And as usual, it's that time again for me to do a hard critique on a pay-per-view. So we'll see where this one leads to. This is my Summerslam one. As you see, my tone is a little bit down because, well, basically not as upset as I was at Hard Justice. I could do a Hard Justice review, and I will do something like that to address somebody that sent me a message challenging me to say what's so wrong about Hard Justice. I'm gonna do that after this video. First, let me look at SummerSlam. SummerSlam is, I think, WWE's chance to blow TNA out of the water at this moment if they can put on a great show. I don't mean really blow them out of the water, but I mean make a statement, because I don't think you'll catch TNA at a weaker time than right now. So if they can put together something as good as Backlash, which I really doubt, but even moderately close, I'm for it. So, you know, if they can even do like half as good as Backlash, I'll be fine with it. But the matches, I'm not gonna do it match by match first. I'll look at it as an event first, and then I will look at it as after I look at it as an event, then I'll go match by match and see how those work out with each other. That's the way I think you should do a review. Alright, now, as an event, the high points of this are going to be the return of two WWE superstars that are probably going to get a major push. Now, Rey Mysterio is returning to face Chavo Guerrero. Personally, I'm glad that Rey Mysterio is coming back. You know, I'm not going to say he's going to save the Cruiserweight division, as he's probably going to be in the heavyweights, but I'm just going to say I'm glad to see Rey Mysterio back. And I know a lot of people don't like him for whatever reason, but he puts a lot of his heart and his will into it. Especially with an injury he had that's kept him out for a year, you really won't see that many wrestlers high flying coming back. So I want to see how he responds to that injury on his way back. And it's always that same knee. It's always that same leg that gets injured. I don't know why. Well, I probably do, but no. That's how it is. Anyway, he's coming back to face Chavo Guerrero. Now, Chavo Guerrero is a very, very good heel. And what I mean by that is when he came out as Rey Mysterio last time, it had us all fooled. Except for me, because I saw he didn't have any tattoos, and Rey does have tattoos. And, well, the mask was all messed up, but, you know, people who were sitting in the back row couldn't tell, so, yeah. But Chavo is a very, very good heel. He actually reminds me a lot of Eddie Guerrero in his WCW days with his heel gimmick. And I really, really do like the fact that Chavo is going heel, and I like his heel persona, and I hope he gets a push soon towards some sort of title as that heel. But any rivalry with the Cruiserweights really wouldn't be a factor right now unless it was with Rey Mysterio. I can't see a rivalry with Jimmy Wang Yang or with Hornswoggle or with whatever. I could see him having a rivalry with Gregory Helms, but Gregory Helms is out for a while. So these are the only two people that you could put together in a match that I really would want to see happen. This should be a good match, but I don't know how Rey's gonna be when he comes back, you know, from this injury he has. And Chavo is probably gonna do all right. So you're looking at it's either going to be a good match or an average match. I don't think you'll be able to see a bad match given the talent that's put in the ring and how they're being used right now. I don't think you're going to see a cluster in this match. I think you might see a few botches from Mysterio and Guerrero, but overall I think it's going to be an okay match, good at best. And of course you have the comebacking, and that's pretty much going to be an event right there. People go to see, you know, the return of Rey Mysterio. You know, that's an event right there. You know, the return of him. The other part of the event is being presented as Triple H's return against King Booker. And that's all I got to say about that. I'm not pleased by this, that they're using King Booker to be a jobber to Triple H. You know, I know King Booker has a choice of a gimmick he wants, but he needs to drop that King Booker gimmick. You know, it's getting stupid. Booker T would not struggle with Jerry Lawler. and mess up a scissor kick on the way in. Why the heck are they bringing in Jerry Lawler anyway? What is the point of that feud? And how the heck did Jerry Lawler get so tough all of a sudden? Where King Booker can pull out an arsenal of moves, and all Jerry Lawler has to do is punch and kick, and he gains upper hands, and King Booker needs to cheat to beat Jerry Lawler. See, I don't get that. I really don't get that. And Booker T really shouldn't be used to be jobbing to people like Jerry Lawler, and Triple H is coming back, and everybody knows that Triple H is going to win his comeback match. It would really, really shock me if he didn't. And the event of that is, just Triple H coming back, the usual. He's getting huge pop from the crowd for coming back, but I'm not really supporting the comeback. It depends on how the comeback goes. Because one thing I do not want to see is another Triple H title run. That's something I don't want to see. I think his time has come, and it's time for him to put the younger talent over. Something like Kane has been doing, something like The Undertaker has been doing, something that he refuses to do because he's so proud. And he married the boss's daughter, so there's really not squat anything anyone can do about it. So, that's basically my gripe on Triple H. But, my main gripes with him is, just the backstage politicking and Stephanie, and if you watch my other vids or even some of Truth Slayer's vids, you'll get why I have such a strong dislike for Triple H. But I know he's gonna beat King Booker, and it's gonna be an event that they're gonna try to make so great that Triple H has come back yet again to do this and do this. One thing I do hope is that he doesn't get a title. That's what I don't want him to get the title again. Come back, win, alright, fine, but stop. No more main events for Triple H. I don't want to see him in another main event. I want the other talent to be over. I got tired of seeing the same three people hold titles in a whole unison when other people are better. Not just better, but not better as in greater legacy, but work harder than they have to. Triple H is becoming like the new Hulk Hogan in terms of backstage politicking. And that's basically the event. Rey Mysterio and Triple H's return. Rey's return, I'm for. Triple H's return, I'm against, because I know what it's supposed to lead to. And then, of course, now let's look at it match by match. Since as an event, SummerSlam is probably gonna be okay. It has a lot of potential. Hard Justice had a lot of potential too, but the gimmicks just got to it, and Hard Justice sucked, by the way. All the matches didn't take potential, either missed the potential, didn't have a point, or messed up the storyline. That's what I gotta say about Hard Justice. But this is not a Hard Justice video, it's a SummerSlam video. I will get to Hard Justice later. Alright, need to calm down. Alright, as an event, SummerSlam should be pretty good. It has potential. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be pretty good, I'm saying it has potential. It has potential. There's only one real match on there that I see as being a bunch fest, and I will tell you that later. But now let's look at it match by match. SummerSlam is the potential. It's a potential slam, potential grand slam. Probably hit a double. But now let's look at the matches. I already told you what I think about Rey Mysterio, Chavo Guerrero, and what I think about Triple H and Booker T. Now, the reason I'm so against it is because the whole thing behind Triple H beating Booker T is that the storyline originally goes that he will beat Booker T, and eventually he'll start feuding with Randy Orton, who's going to beat John Cena, and then he's going to get a title shot and then win and another Triple H title run. He's done it again! Return from the... And I'm done with it. I've seen this before. And if it's one mistake TNA does, it's recycling old WWE storylines. And the last thing WWE needs to do is recycle its own storylines. So, now you have so other than those two matches, you have the Great Khali versus Batista. The Great Khali versus Batista. I have one question. Why is Batista always in the main event? Despite the fact that he loses in every single pay-per-view, he's in some form of a main event. Matter of fact, the last 4 or 5 pay-per-views, Batista has been the main event person. And there's more I want to say. That'll be on the next video, but YouTube's not letting me upload anything longer than 10 minutes, so I'm gonna go for right now. I'll be back with part 2. Stay tuned and have a wonderful day. Alright, later everyone.